Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Global Racing Network. We are here once again for round number 7 of the Top Speed Racing League here on the Global Racing Network. We are round 7 here in Brazil at Interlagos, and it should be a good race this evening. There's going to be plenty of action out on the track itself as we wait for the countdown to end and the race to begin. We've got a pretty big grid tonight for Top Speed Racing League. 15 drivers, which isn't a bad turnout at all, considering a few of the regulars couldn't make it. So it should be a good race this evening. It's a bit overcast to start off with here at Interlagos. The track temperature is going to be pretty cold by the time they come round as they make their way over the line, and we are underway for qualifying with the usual one-shot format. It's Tomgo Prof leading the way, well, fluctuating between him and NZ Pro at the minute. Maestro is up there as well, and the championship leader, Donkey Max, or NLD Gromwald as he's now known as, is out already. I wonder if he's had a crash in the first corner, but 15th, and he is out of the session already. So our championship leader is going to be starting from the back of the grid, so this could be a good opportunity for the people around him to try and snatch a few points this evening as they make their way down the hill into the final sector. It looks like Tomgo Prof has got everything under control at the minute. Kushags is not far behind him though. This is going to be tight getting towards the line. Who's going to get there first? The answer is Tom's going to get there first, so a 107.4. So he nicks pole position away from Kushags. So, and we had a couple of invalidated laps in that qualifying session. So a few of them, well, quite a few of them, everyone outside the top 10 is the answer to that one. So Tomgo Prof on pole position, Kushag second, Branko is third, Just Moman, who's also challenging the championship, is P4, Iron Bowling is P5, Josh JS Gaming on his debut is P6, EFF's P7, Los Manginos P8, 80's P9, Carlos P10, NZ Pro's P11, Maestro's P12, Collins P13, Yatansic's P14, and LLD Gromwald is at the back after crashing out. So we now make our way onto the grid for the race to get underway. 25% race as usual in the Top Speed Racing League. 18 laps of this Interlagos circuit to do this evening, so it should be a good one. Plenty of action is going to be up and down the field. Countdown on the grid. Everyone is going to be getting all their setups ready. And we are going to be good to go for the formation lap. Obviously, we're being a 25% race as usual in the Top Speed Racing League. The one stop is pretty easy. I can't seem to be able to get out of a cockpit cam for the minute. Now we can get out of it. Looks like my game was just having a bit of a dicky fit, but we're underway for the formation lap. All the cars trying to get their tyres warmed up on the grid. So it'll be interesting to see who gets away well here. There's plenty of cars that are going to be... How close is Kushag's going to be to Tomgo Prof? That's going to be the big question tonight. whether Kushags can keep up with the pace of him. Obviously, Kush did have a pretty good finish last time out at Silverstone, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up with Tom tonight. But at the same time, he's got a mirror full of DL Branco, Just Moman, one of his best mates, Ian Ballin, and Josh JS Gaming, who's the unknown quantity this evening. Just trying to think if I have commentated on any of his races. Josh JS Gaming. I'll be able to tell you an answer to that in a brief second once I've looked at his thing. I think he might be in GRL, to be honest. Yes, he is in GRL, so I did think so it's his debut in the Top Speed Racing League, not in on the Global Racing Network though, as the final cars slot into position, and we're going to be ready to go here for round number 7 of the Top Speed Racing League here on the Global Racing Network. The final cars slot into position, everyone gets loaded in, and we go to 5 red lights here at Interlagos. And it's lights out and away we go. It's a good getaway from Tom, but I think Kushags may have bogged down a little bit. He's falling down the order pretty quickly. Just Moman has had an excellent start up into P2 from P4 on the grid. Excellent start from him as they just made their way through turn 1. Everyone's just scrapping for positions a little bit. AD's lost a couple of positions in the process. EFF's gained a handful. And they're just about staying together as they made their way into turn 3 for the first time, and that's a big incident, and that is AD and Kylo collected each other on the exit. Virtual safety car out, no surprise there. Well, I don't know, looking at that, I don't know if AD could do a hell of a lot about that. It looked like he'd got all over the curb and lost the back end of the car, and Kylo was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Obviously we have had some incidents with AD this season, but I don't know if there's a lot he could have done about that, to be fair. It looked like he'd come straight across the racetrack, and Kylo, like I say, was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, this is going to be interesting. Is anybody going to pit very early on? That is going to be the question. Is Tom going to be coming in? The answer is no. Just Moman stays out. Ballin stays out. Kushag stays out after having a very poor start. Couple of guys trying to fake each other going into the pit lane. We have got some cars going in though. Colin is one of them, who's just picked up a penalty for speeding into the pit lane. NLD Gronwald's in, our championship leader. Carlo and AD are obviously in because they have got wing damage to be repaired. So whether it's the right strategy to pit under a virtual safety car or not, I'm not quite sure. You don't lose as much time, but the pit lane is pretty long round here in Interlagos as we go green once again. And just Moman's just lost a position on the restart to Ian Ballin. Kushags is trying to dispatch of just Moman as well. Kushags has a little bit of a look up the inside, just about avoids running into the back of just Moman. A little bit of a scrap going on behind as well, and who's that off the road? That is NZ Pro off the road. That is in the middle sector. He's got back on his way again. I think he may have reset to track, to be honest, so that might be a penalty on his way for him. Make sure he sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far. Just Moman is fighting back on Ian Ballin. He's got DRS and he's going to try and go the long way around the outside. Gets it done before the corner really nicely. Good racing from Just Moman. Obviously one of the main championship protagonists, falling a little bit off the pace in recent races. But he's still on 60 points as it stands. Sitting currently P4 in the championship. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. for Just Moman. His main championship rival Tom, 15 points ahead of him. So, and Tom is pulling away pretty quickly at the front. There's a bit of a DRS train forming here behind Just Moman. He's going to have to be careful. Tom sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 1:09. Made away out the S's. Out the centre S, should I say. Onto the back straight once again. Ballin's coming under pressure from Kushags at the back. There's a little bit of a battle. DL Branco trying to get past Maestro in the background as well, and I think has succeeded, not quite. Has to return the position. I think he might have passed Maestro off the track there. So he will live to fight another day at the back. Kylo's having to go defensive. AD's got DRS down the front straight. These two obviously pitted after their dramas on lap 1. Gone onto the hard tyres to try and get to the end of the race, which is not a bad idea really. AD up the inside. This is looking like this could be a good move on him. Kylo's obviously going to have to go defensive. Kylo gives him plenty of room, very polite, and AD slots past into 14th place. Back at the front, Just Moman still doing all the defending. Goes a little bit deep though on the exit of the centre S. And we've got a spinner in the background. Josh JS Gaming has spun on his debut. He is off the road in the centre S. And I think Utancic has followed him. Yes, he has. Utancic, I think it was 2 separate incidents to be honest. But in the meantime, Ballin has dispatched a Just Moman. Is Just Moman going to try and fight back? No, he isn't. That's contact between him and Kushags. Kushags, oh. Who was that was spun round? I think it was Kushags, but I think Kushags might have just about saved it, which is really bizarre. I thought that was going to be some very major contact, but Kushags has managed to hold on to it. I think he'll be looked into after the race. Well, now Ballin has got some space to stretch his legs in front of Just Moman, so maybe can he catch up the 4.6 seconds to Tom in the space of 12 laps? Probably not, but you never know, as Kushags down the inside of Just Moman on the exit of the centre S. Good move from Kushags up into 3rd place. Just Moman tumbling down the order. He's got DRS to pull him along a little bit. Maestro's having to go defensive from DL Branco here. Branco's going to try and go the long way round the outside, and he's got the move done as well. Great move that from DL Branco. Utancic's into the pit lane for his pit stop, so he will be trying to probably put on the mediums and go to the end of the race. It's very much pit stop window territory. This is a nice little battle developing for P5 here. Just Moman and DL Branco and Maestro, shall I say. Maestro. Oh, DL Branco lets him through. That's very interesting. Oh, I see what's going on. I do see what's going on. DL Branco very sneakily let Maestro through before the detection line and got the DRS after. That is a little bit controversial to say the least, but Maestro is going to get it back on him here down this short straight. Branco goes defensive. Maestro going to outbrake him to the outside. This is a really good battle, this. Do they just about? Maestro keeps it within the white line, still on the outside there as they go side by side up the hill. And Maestro, I think, has just about got through DL Branco off the road. Maestro has got through. That's a brilliant move, that from Maestro, up into 4th place to retake the position of DL Branco that they've been fighting and fighting for. In the meantime, while that battle was happening, Kylo has retired in the pit lane, so his race is over and done with. So he's the first casualty of the evening. So Kylo, it's another unfortunate no points finish for him again. He's had it for a couple of races in a row now. As Del Branco back round the outside of Maestro into the centre S. Maestro sticks to the inside with his guts as well. This is great racing between these two. Really, really close-knit battle. Maestro's going to try and come back at him. Long way round into turn 4 and gets the move done. Brilliant move. They swap in position like yo-yos of them two. Meanwhile, EFF down the inside of Los Maginos, and I think there might have been a bit of a half spin there. EFF saved it somehow. They're still side by side up the hill. Well, you know what they say, rubbing is racing, and it seems a bit like that way at the minute. Meanwhile, NLD Gromwald is off the road. That's the championship leader. He's having an absolute nightmare here in Sao Paulo this evening. It has not gone his way. The race in Silverstone didn't go his way either. And this is going to allow the people around him to catch up on points pretty quickly. It could be a no points finish for NLD Gromwald this evening. We'll have to wait and see. That was Maestro still battling away with Del Branco. This is a great battle between these two. Really, really giving it everything between the two of them. Branco defensive, Maestro trying a long way again. And you know what, he's got it done again. This is a great battle between these two boys. Really are pushing it hard. Now, interestingly, I've just noticed NLD Gromwald has taken, who's down in P9, is obviously already pitted. I need to get the detail up to see who has stopped. So Iron Bowling has stopped ahead of him. So there's a few guys in there inside the top 7 that could be in trouble. Tom Kushag and Just Moman all pitting behind each other, which is probably a sensible thing to do. NLD Gromwald and Balin trying to chance it on the undercut. I don't think it would pay off. Balin's just coming through the centre S now. Tom's definitely going to be ahead of him. Kushag slots behind Balin, I think. Just Moman will also come out in P6 ahead of NLD Gromwald. So Josh JS Gaming and Maestro are looking a little bit vulnerable here on them soft compounder tyres. Like 10 out of 18, they could really do with a safety car, to be honest, if they're going to get back into this race. Interestingly, Colin has done 2 stops in this race, which is not the proven strategy by any means. As Maestro does enter the pit lane, but he gets a penalty on entry for speeding. Tom obviously inherits the race lead again. Balin moves through the order. Kushag's not far behind him. Gromwald is starting to even out a little bit are the battles. A battle that might just be starting is between Los Maginos and NZ Pro. This is over P9 in the race. Well, it will be over P9. It's not now. Gromwald has pitted again, interestingly, and so has Del Branco. So I'm wondering if they have got damage of some description, because they have also done a 2-stop in this race, which is not the proven strategy by any means. So NLD Gromwald could be in trouble here when it comes to championship points. The one championship point is staring straight in front of him of Utancic. Utancic struggling to get their mediums up to temperature. Gromwald to the inside. Utancic will try and hang it out, but has to back out in the end to make the corner. So Gromwald back into the top 10. on lap 12 out of 18. Lap 11 for them, should I say. 12 out of 18 for just Moman and Maestro, who are scrapping it away. Moman's got a handful of penalties now. Just Moman on 6, Maestro on 5 ahead of him. Just Moman wants to hang on to that. He needs to pull a second ahead of Maestro if he's going to get ahead of him and stay in P4. It's turning into a nice little battle though. Yellow in sector 1. That is NZ Pro off the road. He was just scrapping it away with Los Maginos, so I'm wondering if there was some form of contact there. Another yellow in sector 1 is AD spinning, I think. And he has, and that has brought out a virtual safety car because there is debris all over the racetrack at the Centre S, where the race leaders are just coming through now, so that is the right call if you ask me, just to get that mess cleared away. Is anybody gonna pit? The answer is yes. Tom is interestingly into the pit lane. Balin stays. Oh, who was that into the pits? So it wasn't Tom, it was Maestro into the pit lane. I do apologise for that. I was thinking that looked a little bit confusing. I'm pretty sure I'd clicked on Tom, but apologies about that, guys, as you go green once again. As there's NZ Pro parked at the side of the road in the middle sector. He's getting himself back on. I think he's just waiting for a safe place to oh no, he's retired from the session, so he is out of the race. He's the second casualty of the evening. Tom still extending his gap at the front. As everyone has now completed their pit stops and will be trying to go to the end of the race on the tyres that they are on. NZ Pro's car has been cleared away with no issues. As we have a little bit of a freeway battle appearing in the midfield. EFF, Colin and Utancic involved in this one, on board with Colin, sorry, as we make their way up to the Centre S. Colin's looking to try and make a move, a little bit of wheel banging between Colin and EFF. DRS train starting to appear really, on board with Utancic. Colin to the inside, swoops round EFF, but Utancic goes very heavily into the back of EFF in front of him. And there's been some contact in the midfield as well. That was NLD Gromwald, who had spun off the track, rejoining, and I don't think he saw them coming. It's brought out a virtual safety car because there's wing damage all over the place, but NLD Gromwald might be investigated for that one, and that could be another dent to his championship race. So we have another virtual safety car because of it. Maestro is scrapping away with Los Maginos. This is over top 5 or 5th position. So they now head on to lap 15. Field quite evenly spread around the racetrack now, apart from the group just coming down the main straight. Utancic is out of the race. He has retired, coming through the final corner, so that might be down to that incident that we just saw that brought out the virtual safety car. So he is the 3rd casualty of the evening. As we go green again, and Maestro gets a very good jump on Los Maginos, pulled alongside when the green flag went down, and he managed to get ahead of him very early on. Just Moman, interestingly, has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under virtual safety car, and so, interestingly, as NLD Gromwald, he has also got a penalty, a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, so they're going to have to serve them. Just Moman is serving his now. Now, where's this going to bring him out in the interest of Maestro? I'm not sure, to be honest. We've just lost DL Branco, who's had a crash in the middle sector. NLD Gromwald is also out. So that's 2 retirees. So we've lost 5 cars now. We're down to 10 drivers left in the race. As just Moman has come out behind Maestro after serving his drive-through. It's just Moman losing a little bit of time on Maestro now. Maestro getting an opportunity for trying to keep up. Well, he's getting an opportunity to stretch his legs, should I say. Moman's trying to stay with him. As we go into the latter stages of the race, Tom still leading the way, and he's going to close the gap on the championship with this very good result today. It's looking very good for his championships battle. See, with NLD Grumwald not scoring points today and being out of the race, Tom Prof is going to close the gap by 25 points. So it is looking very good as it stands. As Tom is on to the final, and Balin isn't far off here. He's got the lapped car of 80 just be, is it 80 or is it Josh JS? It's Josh JS, so Balin is not going to be close enough to challenge Tom for the race win, unfortunately. So Tom rounds the final corner, driven a spotless race, took pole position and has converted that pole position into another big win for him in the Top Speed Racing League. Tom wins the TSRL Brazilian Grand Prix. Tom comes home to take first place. Balin comes home to take P2. Kushags comes home in P3. Maestro will come home in P4 after a few mishaps in qualifying. So Maestro will come home for a very solid 4th place in the end. Just Moman will come home for P5 on the road, but it'll be Los Manginos who gets his first top 5 in the Top Speed Racing League. He comes home for P5. Just Moman comes home for P6. Colin comes home for P7 on the road, but EFF again will take 7th off him. So EFF 7th, Colin P8. Josh JS Gaming P9, and AD is at the back in P10. Maestro deservedly driver of the day after having the mishap in qualifying, and deserves that 4th place that he well and truly earns. Guys, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.